Right, it's now time for Interactive. Remember to download the SportsMax app from the Google Play or the App Store and watch a variety of live sporting action, including the ongoing Africa Cup of Nations. There's also the West Indies tour of Australia, which begins with the first test in Adelaide, Tuesday, starting at 6:30 p.m. in Jamaica, 7:30 ECT. Also, check out our clips on X, Instagram and YouTube. Well, let's start by getting some responses to Friday's segment, discussing the decision by a Supreme Court judge to grant a 28-day injunction to delay the JFF election. All right, so Nicholas Lewis says, we'll be in the same situation no matter who wins, just more greed and incompetence coming our way. J. American says, FIFA should take over Jamaica football. The entire JFF body should resign and leave football administration to people who really love sports and want to bring Jamaica football forward. Ashmead says, Cameron just confirmed he is a cricket person. Again, having people dabbling into areas with no experience, not what we want. Both Anderson and Ricketts needs to go. Winston, my question to ask Mr. Anderson of him, never have no say in the present JFF when they were making some changes that never needed to be changed. He's the vice president, unless they never gave him a listening ear. Sian says, I am sure FIFA is taking note. Cameron should stick to cricket, and Raymond Anderson spent 30 years in the JFF already and have nothing to show. No one cares about beach soccer. Antonio, the question of Ricketts' eligibility is being asked of the courts or FIFA, CONCACAF. Mr. Cameron?
Yeah,
okay.
So that last question, as it relates to Ricketts' eligibility, is at the moment being asked of the Electoral Appeals Committee.
Yes.
Of course, as I understand it, if they are not getting, or if they are not satisfied with the decision of the appeals committee, then they can look to the level of CFU, CONCACAF, FIFA. I did hear Michael Ricketts on local radio on Friday, though, suggesting, well, not suggesting, but saying that FIFA has gotten involved at some level, that they have requested some documents and that the documents have been sent over. So there seems to be some sort of intervention from World Football's governing body.
Which you would expect, because this has reached a stage now where FIFA will become uncomfortable, because it's their sport. They are in charge of football globally, and if affiliates are making their sport look bad, they will feel compelled to intervene and try to sort things out. I'm not sure where this is heading, but you know, it is very evident, even from the viewers' comments on YouTube watching this segment, that there's very, very little confidence in the people administrating Jamaica's football.
Yeah.
There was an unfortunate statement as well relating to beach soccer, that no one cares about beach soccer. Unfortunate, because what is happening here is that there is a beach soccer association, or a vote should go to a beach soccer association. What is happening here is that, as it is now, there are two, Beach Soccer Jamaica, who of course took the Jamaica Football Federation to court, or who filed for the injunction and were successful. And then there is another body that was formed as well, and they are trying to figure out, and they've gone to the courts to get a ruling on which one is the legitimate body and the one that will carry the vote that beach football should have as part of Pillar 3 whenever we do have the election.
So your assessment about whether beach soccer or beach football is important is not the issue.
Yes.
It is the fact that there is a critical vote that they carry, and it will be important for the right group to get the vote.
Yeah.
There was also another point relating to Raymond Anderson being there for 30 years and asking what he has achieved. I think it is a legitimate question. But I also think there are many times, Lance and Mariah, when you can be in an organization where you can speak out against things, where you can say, this is not how I would do it, but it is still done because you are outvoted And so I wouldn't necessarily judge Mr. Anderson or anyone else on his terms as vice president or committee member.
But it's easy to judge him, though, because of the position.
Yeah, but the only thing is that, and Raymond understands that, and he knows that people will say that, because you are right.
I'm saying it's fair.
It is a legitimate question to ask, because he's been there for even longer than Ricketts was.
Yes.
He was a part of the JFF before Ricketts, but he has been heard to say in the past couple of months that there were times where he offered an opinion on something and it wasn't taken. So I guess he feels compelled to say something like that, because the fans looking on will obviously say that he's been there among the failures.
And I would hope that part of the reason he has put himself up to be the Jamaica Football Federation president is that he was not happy with the direction that the federation has been going. So there is that as well.
All right. Well, we're going to move along now, team, and we asked our viewers to send us their 11 for the first test between West Indies and Australia in Adelaide. Let's have a look now at some of those that we got via WhatsApp. All right, so Antonio Wright says Brathwaite, Chandapol, Mackenzie, Athanas, Graves, Kevin Sinclair, De Silva, Alzari, Joseph, Moti,
Joseph,
and Roach. All right. So do we comment on his team first and then move along to Leslie? So what do you think about the makeup of the team?
Well, he has Kurt Mackenzie in there. He also has Kevin Sinclair in there.
Yes.
3 fast bowlers. Is that 11 or 12? Because he has Joseph, well, he has Alzari, Shamar
11.
Joseph, and Kimar Roach, plus
11.
Moti, and
11.
So I'm trying to see who is no Kavem Hodge.
No.
Yeah, he doesn't have Hodge, no.
All right, but Leslie did. So let's look at Leslie's team, right? Lance, this one is yours. Brathwaite, Chandapol, Mackenzie, Athanas, McCaskey, De Silva, Hodge, Roach, Alzari, Shamar, and Moti.
I think I prefer this. No, Graves.
You're bringing
Graves,
Kevin Sinclair.
I prefer Graves to Mackenzie.
Okay.
McCaskey, I mean.
Okay.
And I don't have Mackenzie in. Yeah, neither of those teams I would go with.
That makes 2 of us.
Do we have any more? Okay, let's see if Horace, you all like Horace. Brathwaite, Alzari Joseph, Joshua De Silva, Kima Roach, Shamar Joseph, Kirk Mackenzie, Tage, Zachary, Kevin Sinclair, Gudakish, Moti.
It's always easier to follow when it's in batting order,
but that's 10 though.
Yeah, and because I don't have Zachary McCaskey in my final 11, I would say I wouldn't go with this one either.
So Lance and Ricardo are saying no to all 3. Do we have another one?
Harish from Guyana says Alec, Imlak, Zachary, and Jordan out, which means that he would play Mackenzie, he would play Hodge and Graves, he would also play Kevin Sinclair. Yeah, but I'm not with this one either, not with Athanase out, because I would definitely play Alec Athanase.
No, Athanase has to play for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, has to.
I'm picking Kevin Sinclair as well. Kurt Spencer, starting with the bowlers, right? So he is being specific.
I guess we're going to bowl first.
Joseph, Roach, Moti, Sinclair, Jordan. Shamar Joseph misses out because this track is usually flat and will take spin later in the test match.
There's no way I'll play Jordan over Shamar, but continue.
And the wicketkeeper, De Silva, the batsmen now, Brathwaite, Chandapol, Athanase, Mackenzie, and Hodge.
So Graves out of his side.
Shamar out too.
And he doesn't play Shamar Joseph, which means that he has both Sinclair and Moti. My team also has both Sinclair and Moti because I agree with him with the track potentially taking spin later on. Plus, I think because of Kevin Sinclair's ability with the bat as well, Lance and Mariah, I like him later down the order because I think the West Indies, if you're talking about showing fight, I think a lot of that fight will come from the middle to, well, more the lower order.
Yeah.
From the wicket keeper down to the bowlers, a lot of the fight will have to come from them.
Yeah, I think his decision though was influenced by the fact that Adelaide is not like the Gabba or some of the other fast bound. bouncy pitches there. So he doesn't like Shamar because Shamar will depend on heavily on what the pitch is offering him.
Right.
But having said all of that, I think Shamar has shown enough that would give him an easy pick ahead of Akeem Jordan.
Yeah. All right. Well, what about the universe boss, Chris Gayle, who apparently paid for everyone's gas at a station in Portmore, St. Catherine on Sunday night? What a thing. So how many people were at this gas station? First thing,
Well,
so
that's a key question,
3,
because
4.
if it's 5, it could be a different reaction coming from me than if it was 20 or 25.
Yeah, and what type of vehicles were there? Because different ones take a certain amount to fill up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like yours, Mariah, takes quite a bit, doesn't it?
But still, let's of course commend him, because that's a great thing to do. You know, you pull up at a gas station, you're expecting to pay a certain amount, and then you're like, whoa, I'm getting it free.
Yeah, if you're like Lance, whose vehicle takes like about 20,000 Jamaican dollars to fill up, then you're like, yeah, thank you very much.
Anyway, kudos to Chris Gayle though, because no matter how you look at it,
Anyway,
that's a good gesture.
So you're not saying your vehicle does
No,
not?
it doesn't. No, no.
I thought that's where you would start.
No. But I've learned to ignore you, Ricardo.
Good job. Well, Lance is a quick learner. I've also learned that. We're out of time for today. Of course, I'm wishing you a beautiful evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great evening.